These kids don't listen. They don't pay attention. They don't realize that life is being handed to them on a silver platter. Jordan Addison's already been in trouble behind the wheel. He's already been speeding so recklessly that he could have killed somebody. But here he is out here doing more craziness. We'll break it all down. What's it mean? Jordan Addison arrested for DUI or suspicion of DUI. And will the league do anything? Maybe not, but where's this guy's head at? You know, is he going to be worth grabbing when you don't even know who's throwing him who's the quarterback, who's throwing him the football in 2024? Is it going to be eventually J.J. McCarthy? I don't know. We'll find out. Sam Darnold, apparently, according to Matt Mayako, the 49er beat writer, Sam Darnold throws the best football that's ever been thrown from any San Francisco 49er quarterback. There's not going to be a lot of room for this guy, I think, to exceed expectations, especially if he's playing mind games with himself. This is ridiculous. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now, and we're going to live draft. That link's pinned in the live chat. Jump in, click the link, Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. Link is pinned in the live chat right now. In fact, I'll drop the link one more time. This is how you get into the draft. We'll be drafting after we talk Jordan Addison. Where would we take him? Are we going to take him? What's his value? The Fantasy Football Show Graveyard Edition, Draft Edition, Jordan Addison Edition, Breaking News Edition begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
It's amazing, that someone like Jordan Addison even is allowed to drive. His team should not allow him to get behind a wheel. But let me read the report to you. It's kind of wild when you hear the whole thing. According to a report released by the California Highway Patrol, Addison was found asleep behind the wheel of his Rolls-Royce, blocking the lane of traffic on the I-105. After the police conducted an investigation for DUI, they decided to arrest Addison and release him from custody a few hours later. The Vikings said they are aware of the arrest and are currently gathering information regarding the incident. It's a bad way for Addison to close out the offseason before reporting to training camp on July 23 as he looks to build on his rookie season. 70 receptions, 911 yards, and 10 touchdowns. Remarkable year for the young man, but he does not have the same situation. Kirk Cousins is not there. Sam Darnold's now slated to be the QB1 in 2024 week 1 for the Vikings. I think this is going to be a very painful year for the Minnesota Vikings. I think they take a huge step backwards. And maybe J.J. McCarthy comes in and cleans things up later and it looks pretty good. But at the end of the day, man, it's going to be wild, to see how this thing unfolds over in Minnesota. Definitely not super, super excited. Yeah, but they got a new, what's this comment here on the, it sadly came at the cost of Laporta. Unfortunately, I get the reasoning Smitty had, but I still am biased toward Lions. I still miss Laporta. Look, I replaced Laporta. Every once in a while we cycle the emojis out because there's only so many spots that are limited. Laporta got replaced by McBride because McBride's going in the 3rd or 4th round winning leagues there. Laporta's going in the 3rd round. It's just the cost of entry isn't even close. McBride by a country mile. And he's on the Marsman list. Laporta, there's no huge, upside in terms of cost of entry. So, doesn't no sweat off my brow. I love Laporta. That's not a knock. Not everybody can make the emoji list, but drop a new McBride emoji, if you will. All right, let's while we get into this conversation a little bit more in depth, let's go into an underdog draft. The link has been dropped in the live chat. I'll drop it one more time. It's also pinned. Code Smitty gets it done. I can't believe there have been like 2 or 3 people have already had a problem with taking away Laporta's emoji and putting McBride's emoji up. That's wild to me. McBride season's here. And he could arguably be the number one overall tight end in fantasy football in 2024. He's got a tremendous passing attack. He's got probably a more potent situation because you've got Goff and then dividing it up with St. Brown and Gibbs and there's a lot of mouths to feed. Jameson, there's a lot to feed there, and Goff isn't as good of a quarterback as Kyler Murray, so I don't understand why people are even sweating that one. Okay, so we're gonna swipe over to the, what are we doing? Slow pup? No, fast puppy, $5. Do that one. Click it. Don't click the green button yet. Open it up. Fast puppy. Make sure you see the green enter button. We're gonna sit here for a second and let everybody gather their senses and their wits and get on over to the Fast Puppy Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Link is in the live chat. Let's go. Okay. Smash it. Hit the green button now. Green button. Hit enter. Boom. I'm going to wait 5 seconds. I'm going to get into a slow puppy with you guys. Spots will probably go pretty quickly. So jump in. Let me put the draft on screen, and then we'll have a discussion about this man, Jordan Addison, and whether we're even drafting him at all this year. I don't know that I'm going to be honest with you. I just don't think there's a whole lot of upside when he has a tough situation to begin with, and this guy can't keep his head on straight. What in the hell is he doing out there getting a DUI, sleeping at the wheel on the freeway? And I don't know what the NFL is going to do, though. The NFL is very, very weird and hot and cold about this stuff. So let's go. Let's see here. I got the 10 pick. Bring back the Addison emoji. Yeah, no thank you. I don't think, did we ever have the Addison emoji just for Ron? I think Ron requested it. I don't think, maybe it was just Cousins. Ron dropped a super chat. We gave him an emoji for the day. Maybe it was Addison. I don't know. But Addison can't keep his head on straight. What in the hell is this guy doing? Drop some McBride emojis, people. Drop some McBride emojis. Use that emoji up. Is one of the most glorious emojis. No, I'm not giving Laporta his emoji back. You get out of your minds. You guys are a little sensitive about this Laporta emoji, okay? Laporta is a good tight end, but he's not a value like McBride or Kincaid are. Those guys are keeping their emojis. Okay. McCaffrey, Lamb, Bijan. Superfish is on the clock at 4. Breece Hall. Cam in the 5 slot. Takes Tyreek Hill. Dab, does that say Dab? Jamar Chase. Is it Shubes? Shubes in the 7 spot. The number 8 pick. What are they doing here? Shubes is going with JJ. No, his Cousins and Ron's in the chat. Ron, where you been? Ron says it was Cousins and Pickett. That's right. AJ Brown. We're gonna go. Wow. We're going to go with Jahmyr Gibbs. We're going to smash Jahmyr Gibbs here at the 10 spot. Could arguably be the number 1 running back in fantasy football this year. He really could be. There's no doubt about it in my mind. He has the capability of it. And when we go on over to the Jahmyr Gibbs board and we look at this guy's stats, it's unbelievable when you see what he did. He's paired up right here against Montgomery. If anybody wants to cry about Montgomery and say, well, Monty's not going away. Monty was here doing his thing, and Gibbs was the second best back in fantasy football. So, hold on. I got to go back to my draft. Looks like the best player available with Harrison, Puka, and Garrett Wilson getting snagged is going to be my boy Drake London. No problem whatsoever going Drake London here to pair with my Jahmyr. It's a good looking duo to start it all off. I like it a lot. I'm fine with that. Let's see if we can go back over here to this screen here. Let's minimize this draft board. Again, just so you know, I do things differently than most channels. Most channels will come in here and they'll just do a draft and they'll go full screen and go, let's do another one. Let me show you the same thing I've been doing all week long, all month long, over and over and over again. We're here to do more than draft. We'll draft, we'll talk about it, we'll show it, but we're here to speak news. We're here to talk about predictions. We're here to take phone calls. That's the nature of this show. And I do not live and die by the data, and I don't live and die by the drafts, to be frank with you. What was I saying? I don't even know what I was saying. Any super chats get handled right away, immediately. So you drop a super chat, you will get served with your answer immediately. Yeah, don't worry. Kincaid's emoji's coming back. Kincaid's gonna get his emoji back as well, if he doesn't already have it on there. So did his get bumped? I don't know if it got bumped. Gibbs or Kyron? I mean, Gibbs is gone. I mean, he just saw me take Gibbs over Kyron, so Gibbs absolutely. But I mean, at the end of the day, could Kyron outscore him? Sure. Like cost of entry, I love Kyron. Cost of entry, there might not be a better draft selection in 2024 fantasy football than Jalen Hurts or Mahomes. Mahomes in round 5, especially in best ball. In non-best ball, Hurts and Mahomes in 3 is still league winning. But Kyron in round 3 is about as league winning as you can get. But Gibbs at the tail end of 1 is also borderline just as good, because he deserves to be in the top 5 overall, but you're getting him at 10, 11, 12, and sometimes 13, 14, which is absolutely ludicrous, ridiculous, unacceptable, not excusable, but absolutely appreciated. We're getting closer to your boys' pick. I've got London. I've got Gibbs. I feel like it's a fire start so far. Feeling pretty good. H.N. and Kyron in our communities, probably not. Neither one would fall out of round number 2, which is understandable. I'm sitting here looking at Josh Allen, and I can't. I don't think I can overlook that. Man, maybe I can. I'll explain myself in a second. Tank Dell. I couldn't avoid Tank Dell. Only because I know I'm not going to get him back. He was high. He was super highly ranked here. I'm going to go Tank Dell. I love 3 quarterbacks equally here, in a sense. So I don't really care. If I don't get Josh Allen, I mean, I'll just take Mahomes or Hurts. That's fine. I'm fine with it. No doubt about it. Football starts next month, says Young. Absolutely, bro. Can't wait, baby. We're doing it live. Take ETN. No, thank you. I like ETN, but I don't need him here. I mean, I'm tempted to go a different direction than quarterback here. I am tempted, but usually I smash the hell out of a Hurts, Mahomes, or Josh Allen at this 4th round territory. It's just win a league capable. While I want to go a different direction, I'm not. We know I'm not gonna. Jahmyr Gibbs, Drake London, Tank Dell, Jalen Hurts. Do it live. Absolutely unbelievable start. Love that start. Absolutely love it. Phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Hurts over Mahomes. I could go either way, as I just said. They're all almost equal. Push comes to shove, I'm going Josh Allen, and then I'm going Hurts and Mahomes rotationally. Like if I had this same scenario, like 4 times side by side, like all of them lined up, I'd probably go Mahomes in 2, and I'd go Hurts in 2. Or I'd go Mahomes in 1, Hurts in 1, maybe one or the other again, and then maybe I go like McBride or something like that, and then go like with an AR5 later or something like that. But with this crew, the one reason why I'm not going to do that is this crew is going to consume QBs. This is a big QB community because we talk about it all the time. So the odds of one of the even AR5 or Lamar or someone like that falling back to my 5th round pick, my late 5th round pick, is slim to none, probably slim to 0. Travis, what's up? You're live.
Hey, not much. Always seems like the same old stories with these idiots that get in the car after they drink or go out to the clubs late at night. Like, they never learn from each other.
It's crazy, man. I don't understand.
And like, I get the idea, like, you know, these guys are young, they're in their early 20s, like, we all did stupid shit in our early 20s, or, you know, stuff we regretted, this or that, but it's like, when you become a professional athlete, you're making millions of dollars, the stage is kind of different, you know, so I don't really buy into, oh, they're just human. Well, you know, you have different responsibilities now, and if you want to make that type of money and be on that stage, you have to, you know, act accordingly.
You also wonder at what point, like, do you say, like, even if you're a part of this, like, you know, team and you're trying to make, you know, decisions and come down hard on them, or disciplinary, and, you know, if you're trying to be a disciplinarian about it, like, why in the hell wouldn't you say, like, dude, you've already, you know, don't have another issue with the vehicle, like, don't do it, you know, especially don't drive drunk or do anything like that. Maybe they did tell them that, but the crazy part is, like, as long as you're not gambling or doing something that puts the NFL in a very big spotlight, like, they just don't care, you know. But we'll see what happens. But definitely not smart on his part. You got to wonder what in the hell's going on with this kid. But how are you gonna have two of these situations? It wasn't like his speeding thing wasn't like 140. It wasn't even like 100 miles an hour. I don't know if anybody's ever driven even 120 on a freeway. I'm not talking about like an open road that's going to, you know, from Vegas to California, and there's no one for miles or something. If anybody's, first of all, you should be ashamed of yourself. But if anybody's driven 140 before on the regular highway, you're putting so many people at risk. This is a tough spot to be in. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm going to time out. I went ahead and grabbed Ridley because I just grabbed a familiar face. I was going to time out. But yeah, let's go over to Ron Navy real quick, because Ron Navy's a big Addison guy. What are you thinking of, Ronnie? You pissed off at him? What's he doing?
No, you finally got your ammo to not draft him.
Well, I mean, I still like him, but I don't like his situation.
Where was this same ammo last year when you were drafting all of Kamara? Now this year you say you won't draft any Addison, but you draft the heck out of Kamara, and he almost killed a guy.
Well, it depends on where he falls, because it's all about ADP. So we'll see where his ADP shakes out. Because if his ADP shakes out to be pretty solid, then yeah, we probably get back into the game. I mean, that's just the nature of it. I can't stand on principle with what I do. You know, I can't be like, oh, he went 140 miles an hour, I'm not going to draft him, and I don't think anybody should draft him as well. So it depends on where he ends up falling ADP wise.
And Travis, money doesn't make you smart. I mean,
no,
there's a lot of.
I definitely agree with that, but all I'm saying is, if you want to keep this lifestyle and keep this job and all the perks that come with it, if you don't change your ways, it's not going to last.
That's true. You got to learn lessons, but I understand that you have to learn lessons, but you got just as many young non-millionaires, being stupid and crazy. What makes, just because they got millions of dollars?
I don't think Travis is saying that you make millions of dollars, you become smart. I think he's saying that you have the world by the balls, you have everything you need, and you just, like, it sucks that a lot of these kids don't have any guidance or somebody that can say, like, bro, stop doing this foolishness. Like, get into the gym, get into the cafeteria, start playing more Madden. Like, that's all you need to focus on. You got the world by the balls, and you're out there sleeping at the wheel in your Rolls Royce. You're out there driving 140 miles per hour. This is the kind of guy that ends up injured or worse doing these things over and over and over and over again. So it's like, hopefully he learns from it. But this is a second massively, big mistake in a vehicle. Like, have a driver. Can we get a driver for him?
Call an Uber.
He could have, but it sounds like he just, like, pulled off and couldn't drive no more. At least he stopped the car.
He was sleeping on the
speaks to his
freeway.
character.
I don't think he. I think he passed out. I think he passed out.
Yeah.
I don't think he made a. Look at Ron coming in to defend him. Come on, Ron. You are trying to defend him here pretty hard. There goes Jordan Addison. He went in round 7. I mean, do I think he's gonna miss a game by the NFL standards of things? Probably not. Probably not. Maybe one game, possibly, if he's very unlucky. He misses one game. I'm more worried about Ron's QB situation and all that going on. And to Ron's defense, and I'm not saying, I didn't fear this when we had these conversations, but, you told Perps, and I defend Perps' stance because he wanted to gamble on Penix Jr. That didn't happen. But, Ron, you were the one in here saying grass is greener, grass is greener. The moment Cousins leaves, you're not guaranteed what you're guaranteed. And, and I understand Perps. I understand where he's coming from. And I would have, if I was Minnesota, aggressively went after Penix and made sure we had him, traded up, and been a fool to trade up for him, whatever. People can make fun of me all they want, but I would have done it. They didn't. And so now we're looking at the bigger problem, because I haven't once said avoid Addison just because of this. I don't like the situation to begin with. So you mix that in and it becomes a multiple problem for me.
And I think I like Addison, and he really impressed me last year. He was better than I thought he would be. But the thing that worries me is the touchdowns. I don't see a path to 10 touchdowns.
I don't either at all. It's going to be hard for JJ to
And I mean, that was amazing last year.
It's going to be hard
he was able to get a lot of those touchdowns were deep touchdowns.
Yeah.
Separation. So
we'll see what happens.
I don't know. I mean, the quarterback situation isn't the best, but I mean, he's still going to complete passes, and he's got to complete passes to somebody.
Yeah, I mean, you got JJ Hawkins said eventually he won't be ready right away, or even remotely close, but I don't know. We'll see. Real quickly, let me get back to this draft real quick and just explain my strategy. I'm almost about ready to make this selection right here. This guy Chuck is drafting. He takes Aaron Jones. That's fine by me. I'm going to do a little cuffage and go with, since it's best ball and the decisions are made for me. I love how Jaylen Warren looks right now. I took Najee Harris just prior to make sure I had the cuff because Jaylen Warren's ADP is after. So I played the ADP game and it worked out pretty well. So my running back stable, Jahmyr Gibbs, Drake London. Well, my running back stable, Jahmyr Gibbs, Najee, and Warren. And my wide receivers, Drake London, Tank Dell, Calvin Ridley. I've got Jalen Hurts, and I went C.J. Stroud in round 6. So I got Dell and Stroud cuffed together, which is awesome. It's just kind of a nice little underhand type of cuff, So Stroud and Dell. I still got Hurts. I feel like I didn't sacrifice anything. My wide receiver room is extremely strong with Drake London, Dell, and Ridley. And then my running back room, I think, is extremely strong with Gibbs and Najee and Warren. I think it's a really, really good bully QB approach, especially given, Stroud almost fell to the beginning of 6. He'd probably fall to the end of 6 if this wasn't our community gobbling up quarterbacks earlier than normal. So this is a solid start. I like this team. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Ron. That'll make Ron happy. Ron's a Steeler fan. I mean, to hear me draft 2 back-to-back Steelers, that's got to change your tune a little bit. That's got to tickle your fancy just a little.
Yeah, you finally coming around and getting smart.
You
kidding.
Captain Save It, Ron. I had steak tonight, Ron. You'd be happy. I've done a lot of Ron things today. I had steak. I gave some of it to the homeless around Phoenix because we cooked so much of it. It was insane. We did some good, We took some stuff to Goodwill. So, you know when you do one good thing, you usually do one bad thing? I didn't know what to do. The guy behind me said to just leave it as well, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't have a broom. I didn't have anything. But my daughter put a bag full of, like, I want to say I'm not even joking, there's about 500 or 600 items inside this trash bag. Mostly like dominoes. So there's, hundreds of pieces of dominoes. There's hundreds of, like, tiny little fidget spinners, and there was Legos. There was so much stuff in this bag. And as I'm taking the bag out of Goodwill, just gave a steak to a homeless man. Take a bag out of the back of the vehicle. It breaks open and goes everywhere. And I'm sitting there right outside of Goodwill. Doors are closed and everything. And I'm just like, jeez, and I just drive off. What could I do? Sweep it up into what? I didn't have a bag anymore. So anyway, they've got some donations in a big old pile of toys everywhere. But, we tried to do good today. We did what we could. Break one thing, fix one thing. That's what Uncle Bob always did when he came in town. He'd fix a light bulb, shatter a table standing on it. Oh, I'm gonna time out here. Benson, do it live. Do it live.
What kind of steak you cook?
What kind of steak did I cook? We cooked. I don't know. You'd have to ask Miss Smitty. They were almost like ribs. It was like rib meat, but it was it's steak. It tastes like steak, but it was good. It was good. You know more about that cut than I would. Ron's a steak connoisseur.
Yeah. Did they have bones? Or
no bone, but it was called a rib, something rib. So it's probably
probably ribeye end.
Bear rib?
Yeah, something like that. But it was good. It was good. It was good.
Ribeye. So the steak is probably ribeye ends.
Yeah, ribeye ends probably. Yeah. It was really good.
That's what yesterday I had ribeye ends.
Right here, I'm on the clock. Do I go? I probably should go Dallas Goddard. I don't have a tight end yet. I've got Jalen Hurts. That way I'd have Hurts and Goddard, Stroud and Dell. Not really loving these wide receivers anyway, so I'm going to go Goddard. That's good. That's a well-rounded team. Look at this team. Look at this squad.
You're stacking.
Gibbs, Drake, London, Dell. Hurts, Calvin Ridley, Stroud. Najee, Warren, Benson, Goddard. That's a really strong team. Damn.
That sounds like one of my teams.
That's a really good team. Yeah. I don't think I did what I could at Goodwill, guys. I see a couple of your comments. What could I do? The guy even behind me is like, bro, they got brooms and buckets for those things. Like, they'll just scoop it into a bin, and that's, in 5 seconds it'll be fine. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm not even joking. I should have took a photo of it. I was too embarrassed. But there was so many toys from one huge trash bag. It was not something I could clean up. It was like one of those daunting things where you're like, holy crap, there's no way I'm cleaning this up. There's no way. McRib. No, it wasn't a McRib, Matt. It was a damn good steak. It's on my Instagram stories. You can go look at it. Ron can verify the type of meat.
McRibs aren't really steak, or they're not really ribs.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen how they make McRibs?
No, tell me so I know whether to eat it ever again.
You won't ever eat it again, especially after what you told me the other day.
Yeah.
And they make paste.
Yeah.
And they press the paste to look like in the form of ribs.
That's disgusting.
Like it's an actual rib, but it's not.
Yeah,
that's what chicken McNuggets are too.
That's what that imitation crab meat. If you ever see how they make imitation crab meat, you will never ever eat it ever again. It's the most disgusting thing how they make that paste. It's gross. I messaged Ron the other day and I said, look, do they have any sort of like truly all beef hot dogs out there? Because all beef, if you say it's all beef, it only has to qualify a certain percentage of all beef in that, and it's trimmings galore. There's, according to Ron, and I believe him because he's a meat connoisseur, there are truly no. Damn, what do I do here? Hold on. I'm gonna get another quarterback. I love drafting 3 monster quarterbacks when I don't like anything else going on. I got Hurts, Stroud, and Tua. It's pretty good. Ron said, according to Ron, there's no real true, all beef, hot dog. It's got some sort of trimmings and all this gross stuff in it. But I saw TikTok because I was searching for that. It got suggested to me yesterday, and it looked good. You just take hamburger meat, put a thing of cheese, make a little canal in it, put some cheese in it, then roll it up and wrap it in bacon, put it on the grill, and it tastes glorious according to this TikTok that I trust. And I'm gonna make those this week. We got hamburger meat. Smitty got some. I'm gonna make those.
I mean,
So you're saying every all beef Pat Frank has like byproducts in it? Is that
Yes.
what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Yeah.
To be all beef, it just has to.
I gotta think there's. I gotta do a search. I bet there's someone that makes them.
I don't think so.
No.
There's only a certain percentage that needs to be all beef.
They'll make vegetarians. They make, but actual just all meat without trim and stuff. Nathan's comes close. Nathan hot dogs. They come close, but they're but basically all the hot dogs that say 100% beef, real beef. It doesn't mean they're not all beef. They're only like 30%.
Yeah, it's a shocking and alarming number that the FDA, I guess, that they have.
100% real beef. They
Yeah,
mean
it's-
all the beef that they use, which is the 30%,
Right.
is real beef that comes, but that doesn't mean it's not trimmings around, not beef tongue and
Yeah,
beef
it's
ass.
so gross when you think about it. I'm sorry, I don't eat hot dogs anymore. After I saw all these videos on it, and it's not.
Okay, I think I get what you're saying. So
Yeah.
like,
I know some people are like, I don't care about
Okay.
the hot dog or the tongue. I don't care about the trimmings of this and that. I don't even want to get into details about what kind of trimmings we're talking about. But I'm just not one of those people that once I learn something like that, it's hard for me to go back. I'm going to make the hamburger cheese in the middle of the hamburger hot dog creation with the bacon wrapped around it. That sounds great. I'm going to do that. Now the hamburger meat, Ron, do I have to worry about hamburger meat? Is there some sort of trimming in there that I don't know about? And regular hamburger meat?
It really all depends on where it's coming from, because I'm sure there is, because they grind up all that burger. Now they're going to put more, and then when they make the lean burger, there's different ways to make it. So, yeah, you probably get some, but I don't think it's not like hot dogs where it's really, really bad trimmings. But
What's the terminology I need to have clean hamburger meat that doesn't have hooves and tongues and eyeballs and things in it?
The best way to get good hamburger meat is to buy from a local farm and grass-fed.
This grass-fed, hey, you got this thing in the back? Can I s-
Or if like my butcher here, he makes, I see him make it, wagyu beef, ground beef.
Right.
He uses so if you can see them processing it, it's probably better, so you see what's going into it.
Can I come back and
you
watch
can
you
feel
guys? Can I come back and watch you guys make this, please? I'm telling you, like I never used to worry. People would even tell me things, and I'd brush it off. But as you get older, you start like really digging into it, and I don't know, man. It's kind of wild to me. I just can't. Let me just make a selection here. I just can't. I just can't eat something now that when I know, especially watching these imitation crab meat, paste being made. It even made it worse for me. Like I kept kind of trying to ignore the hot dog thing, but how there's not a business out there of hot dogs made from all 100% for sure all beef. Like why they have to include the trimming? Just make it more expensive. If it's got to be double the price, whatever. Like why would somebody not have? I said this to Ron and I couldn't really find it, but there's got to be somebody that tried to make and has successfully made a little bit more expensive dog, but it is 100,000% actual good.
So the question I have is what you're referring to, is that like beef byproduct, or is that something different? Because like I see a couple lists here with there's 100% beef with no byproducts in it. Grass-fed.
but beef, anything that comes from a cow is considered beef, whether it's testicles, whether it's tongue, whether it's ear, whether it's salt.
Right. So that would be considered like a filler, right, or a byproduct.
No, he's saying that would be considered beef.
I don't know how you could. Yeah, I don't. So how could you ever really be sure?
You can't.
They have to make it into a paste to use the intestinal. That's the other thing, is they use a lot, intestine casing. So,
all right.
I mean,
right.
really,
so how do you make a hot dog?
I don't know. All right, let's not get too graphic detail because I don't know what that's.
Well,
gonna be.
you'd have to take real meat, and you'd have to make a paste out of it so you can put it in the casing.
But you make good
And-
paste out of it. It's like you're
Yeah,
basically
you
like blending up in a sense. You're blending up a really good meat though, but the problem is, and the reason they throw these trimmings in is because it turns into paste. No one sees it, and then they fill up it's almost like you think of it like a sock, right? You're just throwing that meat into that casing, as Ron said, and they tie off the ends, and then boom, that's how it is. That's why there's that skin on the hot dog, because it's like that's the casing, and they just trim it as they they make it in a certain size. It's gross, bro. There is no answer. I've looked for it. There's no answer. If anybody finds a actual, truly all beef hot dog and they don't get tricked by the wording, because the wording is very tricky. I also know a buddy that owns a restaurant, and he's told me this too. He says he'll never eat hot dogs ever again because he understands it. And he's like, I try not to ruin it for people, but the FDA or whoever's governing this, I believe the FDA, right? The percentage only has to meet a certain requirement, and that makes it cheaper for the manufacturer, and that's plain and simple. And they've been making hot dogs like this forever, so no one cares, And most people.
That's just like the meat they use at Taco Bell is really low grade filler meat that they use at Taco Bell.
Yeah. All right. Enough of that. Let's go into this draft real quickly. I almost timed out, and I really
Taco Bell. I'm not eating no more Taco Bell.
Really did get timed out on the Jelani Woods pick, really. So hold on, let me get back to this. My team: Hurts, Stroud, Tua, Gibbs, Najee, Warren, Benson, Drake London, Dell, Ridley, Leggett. I probably need another wide receiver. I'm going to go with Luke McCaffrey. It's a little early. Or no, he's about right there. He's the 4th ranked wide receiver. Go with Luke McCaffrey. I'll take that bad boy. I've got another guy queued. This timer is this the 15-second timer? I am just starting to notice how quickly the timer is going. It is a 20-second timer. Okay, 20-second timer.
Yeah.
So it's going quicker.
I noticed they had a timer on the pit bulls. They had 15-second.
I love the 15. I love the 15. It's harder on a live stream, but I still like it. I still dig it because it makes the draft go faster.
So let's say though, if you go hunting, Smitty, if you go get a deer, you take it to a processor, right? And you can tell them, okay, I want steaks, I want this, I want that. I don't want you to use any of the.
I don't leave the studio, Ron. I went to Vegas and I got the pandemic. I brought it. My whole family has it. The Miss Smitty got it. The little kid got it. Little one got it. The in-laws got it. Everybody's got it. I'm not leaving again. I don't care if it's camping. Nothing. I just can't do it. It's too risky.
Does that mean you're not going to Vegas next year?
I don't know. Honestly, at this moment in time, I'm gonna say no. If I had to guess, I'm becoming an old bitter man. Get off my lawn. I'm becoming Ron Navy. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't like going anywhere.
You can't live life all like sheltered.
I can. I enjoy it, Ron. But Ron, it makes me happy. It makes me happy. I love going. I've got a Forerunner, right? And everyone is like, you got to take that thing off-roading. I'm like, bro, I off-road every day. I off-road over the curb after I pick up my breakfast. I go straight off over the curb and I don't have to wait at all. I just go straight off, and I get out of that really crowded parking lot every day. It's been a godsend. That's my off-roading experience. I do it every day. Getting out of the studio, I go pick up food once or twice a day, and I go running on top of that. I get out plenty. I want to be sheltered. I don't enjoy conversating with people I don't know. I'm just becoming a very satisfied with my abode. You know, redid the yard. Everything's just, I like being here. I just like sitting here. If I'm not live streaming, which I enjoy my job, I like Netflixing or watching Amazon Prime or YouTube TV. I'm a binge watching fool, and that's all I want. That makes me happy. You know, I don't even have vacations, let alone, you know, because most people have, you know, this time off, 8 days, you know, for holidays, 7 days for holidays, you get 2 weeks of vacation. I don't really get that, but if I can imagine myself back in a working world, it's been so long, and I had, you know, a weekend off, all I would think about is staying home. My God, just staycation, just not at a hotel, like in my house.
I just got my first passport yesterday.
See, that's the last thing I want to do is leave the country. let alone my city. I love Vegas is fun, but like you catch COVID or you catch something like that while you're out, you bring it home to the whole family. I felt miserable for weeks. It's about weeks now. It's not worth it to me, you know. I don't know. I don't like going anywhere. I don't like going anywhere. Look at this guy from the middle of this draft going all RB. Did he not take a single? It looks, by the looks of his team here, from the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spot, it looks like he might have ignored running back until round 13 and just started scooping him up. Let's see if he went wide receiver heavy. Yep, there you go. I predicted it. Dab K or whatever the hell the team name is. Chase, Olave, Cooper Kupp, T. Higgins. Hey, I don't mind the Chase, Olave, Cooper Kupp trio. That's not bad. The T. Higgins. Hold on, I'm on the clock here.
Then the next 3.
On the clock here. Need an RB. Need maybe one more wide receiver. I guess Estime. I hate drafting Estime. But he's like the only running back left at that stage when you get down. How many running backs do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then I need probably one more wide receiver, I think. Let's see here. I have 3 quarterbacks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running backs, 3 tight ends. So, yeah, this will be a wide receiver. The best wide receiver available. Zay Jones, Odell.
Take Brandon Price.
I'm not big on him, right? I like him, but I don't like his situation. Let's see here. Zay Jones or Odell or Zay Jones. I got Tua, so let's just. Odell's such a bad pick. he really is. You hope that he can do something. I don't know. I did it because of the cuff, but
I'm born over Odell.
You love Osborne.
I know, but he's like for free. He's free. Rice is free. They're all free.
There's no real strong argument on Odell versus Osborne or Dortch or Tyler Boyd we're all taking stabs in the dark here. I don't think there's a huge. Even my estimate pick, like I almost just went Grendo. I haven't been drafting Grendo because
I got a lot of him. Estimate, I went big.
I almost went Grendo. I've been laying off the Grendo a little bit. It sounds like substance use.
Do you think Estimate's that good, or he's just gonna end up being the guy?
The reason I keep taking him there, and I kind of regret not taking Grendo there. If I could go back, I'd take Grendo there. But Grendo's hard to draft just because you don't want to take an L. And what is this called? The puppy. Yeah. The fast puppy, right?
Puppy.
Whoa.
Fast puppy. Okay.
Puppy fast.
Yeah. You don't want to take a 0 because that's a big no with one of your RBs. But
right.
I think he could also, you also want to try and get that difference maker that no one else has. So it does make a lot of sense to also draft him. So it's kind of a catch-22. You know, you don't want a zero. You don't want a bunch of zeros. What if you know, he gets doghoused all year? Running backs typically have a better shot, I think, of playing as rookies, even in Shanahan's world. But you just never truly know. But I would, if I could go back, I would change out Garendo, because when I took Estime, I'm just like, The reason I like Estime a little bit at the last or second to last round pick is because I think that we've already seen this team and Peyton not commit to any of the RBs that are there. So you got to just think that they drafted him for a reason. It's going to be Sean Payton's guy, and maybe he gets a shot. You know, if it's been proven that there's a ability for someone else to get a shot. So I'm just going to bank on that and get some starts out of it. I don't know. I'm not so excited about it though. I don't love the pick, but
yeah, I mean, considering where you took him towards the end there.
But overall, this team's fired. This is from the 10 spot, the third to last column on the right. Gibbs, Drake London, Tank Dell, Jalen Hurts, Calvin Ridley, C.J. Stroud, Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, Trey Benson, Dallas Goedert, Tua Tagovailoa, Xavier Legette, Troy Franklin, Jelani Woods, Luke McCaffrey, Cade Otton. I kind of timed out on Jelani. He was in my queue, but Estime and then Odell. It's a pretty solid team. Let me just take a look at Chase from the 12. He's got Garrett Wilson, JT, Josh Allen, Laporta, Cook, Watson. See, I love the Laporta 4th round value there. That's fine. That's awesome. It's in the same round as McBride, so that's where Laporta is like smashing. But like if Laporta is going at like 3.2 versus McBride at 4.5, or then it becomes a whole different, conversation, cost of entry. But I like that team a lot. You got James Cook, Washington. I like that. The 11 spot, Puka, Harrison, Zay Flowers, and 3 is just too early. I just don't like it at all. I think Lamar has not developed a top 25 wide receiver before. Andrews, Rome, JSN, Jonathan Brooks is good. I just don't like that Zay pick. It just feels like you kicked the momentum right in the nutsack. You got Puka, you got Harrison, you're smashing. And then boom. And then you got Dunze. I mean, I don't know. Zay and Dunze kind of take it down for me in redraft anyway. A.J. Brown, Barkley, George Pickens is... Ron's going to probably lose it on me on this one, but that's way too early. Like, you want to take Pickens in round 4. That makes some sense, and I don't mind it at all if it's in 4. I've done it myself. Pickens in 4 is fine, but your third drafted player, you're not leaving yourself a lot of room for the upside of it. You're drafting him at a place where he could deliver that. Absolutely could, but you're drafting him at the ceiling, and traditionally to take best player available, you're taking guys that have a huge ceiling above the draft value, so that's just way too high. Travis Kelce, Keenan Allen, Godwin, Hopkins, not my favorite team. This 8 spot, St. Brown, Nico, Pittman Jr., Cooper Kupp. I'm out. Shubes, Jefferson, Achane, DJ Moore. I don't like him round 3. Diggs isn't bad in 4. I don't love him, but in 4 it's starting to become like shifting back toward like where Kupp in 2 would be awful. Kupp in 3, 4 is fine. Kupp in 4 is amazing. Kupp in 3 is good. Kupp in 2 is horrible. Diggs in 2 is awful. Diggs in 3, and Diggs in 4 becomes like Cooper Kupp and I'm okay with that. Higgins, let's see this 6-1 Higgins, Kirk. Yeah, I'm out on that one. Tyreek Hill, Brandon Ayuk. Let's see, Brandon Ayuk. Let me hold on. I got Scared Scott. Hold on a second, Scared Scott. Just mute yourself real quickly. I'm coming to you in 1 second. Tyreek Hill, Brandon Ayuk. I don't like Brandon Ayuk in the second round. Derrick Henry, good value there. Trey McBride, good value there. Anthony Richardson, smash value there. Kenneth Walker, smash value there. Very good team. I just think Brandon Ayuk, I mean, he could work out there, though. That's still a really good team. I'd say you're still a top 6 team. You're banking on Ayuk, and that's fine. I don't like him there. Breece Hall, Kyron for Superfish. DK, Mahomes, Kyle Pitts. Keon Coleman. Kyler Murray. Going Double QB there, and a 1 QB. I like it. Bowling quarterback. That's a really good team. DK Metcalf, Keon Coleman, Kyle Pitts with the 2 quarterbacks, and you got Kyron and Breece Hall. It's a top 4 team in this draft. I love it. What else you got? Let me peep down a little bit and see Shakir. Okay, I like that. You got Coleman and Shakir. You got Corum, Brian Robinson Jr., Dotson. Very good team. And you backed up. You backed up Kyron with Corum. I like it. Bijan from the 3, Waddle too early in 2 for me. Neighbors too early in. Yeah, that's a Waddle could earn it, definitely. Injury to Hill, smash. But you're again drafting him at his ceiling at that second round. He went at 13 and 14 last year, and I told everyone not to do it. It was just too early. So Waddle and Malik Neighbors, the combination of drafting those 2 guys way, way too early. I don't like it. Second overall draft selection, Lamb, Debo, Devontae Smith. Those are really good wide receivers. If you're going to try that triple wide, I'm fine with it with those guys. Let's see what happens. I haven't even looked yet. Pacheco, ETN, smash. Like that. What good running backs to get trying that triple wide receiver? Pacheco, ETN. Pacheco, top 6 to 10 running back. ETN was a top 4 overall running back last year. I'd probably put him in the 6 to 10 range this year. But you have 2 top 10 running backs, and you have those 3 wide receivers. Brian Thomas. Ferguson's a great tight end. Who's your you got Bowers. Joe Burrow. Wow, what a team. Great job from the 2. Great job from the 2. McCaffrey, Adams. This is the 1 pick, the last team. McCaffrey, Adams, Evans. Dalton Kincaid, Josh Jacobs. Wow. Kamara. Wow. Jacobs, Kamara. Very good value. Addison. Jaden Daniels. This is a good team. Brock Purdy, nice little safe, pick there to help make sure Jaden Daniels is, if he ends up getting hurt or he's not living up to the hype, which he will. But that's a good team. I like that. That's good. I love the two slot. I love Superfish's team. I like mine. I like a couple others, but those are really good. Those are really good squads overall. Nice job, guys. Nice job.
You mentioned Pickens like in the 3rd, and you wouldn't take him there, but he was more toward the end of the 3rd, and it really come down between Pickens and Dell, or the 2 top wide receivers. Neither one of them are coming back in that position.
I get it.
And there's no other wide receiver that I want, so toward the end of the 3rd. Knowing that he's not going to make it back, then not get him at all, because I don't like any of those wide receivers after him.
Yeah, I mean, do what you got to do. Rockout says, check your DMs. Smitty, how do you like your steak? I like it not bloody, but medium rare. Medium rare on the, definitely the pink side for sure. But I don't like my brother likes him to throw it on for like 10 seconds and take it off the entire steak. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, I can't do that.
Yeah, you stir it on the side, stir it on the other side, and then you flip it back over, leave it for a minute, then flip it back over, leave it for a minute, and take it off and eat it. It's good. That's
too raw for me, bro. Smitty, how do you thank you, Rockout. Appreciate you. Ray G with a $10 hauler. My guy coming in strong with a 10 watt. Appreciate you, Ray G, to the mother freaking moon. Ray G says, went wide receiver heavy. My team is AR5, Russell Wilson, Fields, Jacobs, Benson, Eckler, Lloyd, Vidal, Chase, Debo, Dell, Brian Thomas, Coleman, McMillan, Goddard, Bowers. Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's good. You're banking on either Eckler being better than people think or Benson getting in there, but you could struggle a little bit. You may not even have a great running back 2 at all for a while. If they come around, then you're smashing. But, yeah, that was a little bit risky going Benson, Eckler, Lloyd, Vidal, but because Vidal could take some time. Lloyd could take some time. I like Lloyd, though. I like him a lot. And then Eckler, you're kind of starting Eckler and Jacobs at the beginning of the year, hoping Eckler gets enough work. It could work out really well, but I do like a little bit more balance than that but Ray G trying something new. Ray G's always drafting good. Nice job, Ray. All right, boys. Anything else? Ron, you projecting no suspension or nothing big from this Addison thing, right? I assume. I don't know that I do either. I'm not like NFL doesn't
It
do it.
depends on all the situation that comes out. But you said you were gonna go to Scott. Don't forget him.
Oh God, Scott, Scott, I forgot you were there, bro. Scott, what's up? You're live.
Not much, man. I just happened to wake up, catch a show, and look at a email draft that I got going on, and I'm up next. So I wanted to ask your opinion.
Okay.
Out of Deontay Johnson, Christian Watson, and McConkey, which one of those three?
Christian Watson, all day.
And then
risky?
I flip
Sure.
right back around, and I have to take my quarterback, which I hadn't done yet. I got Dak, Jordan Love, and Kyler Murray. Which one of those three?
Dak's your safest. Kyler's got a little bit more risk, but maybe a tad more upside, but definitely more risk. I mean, Dak's probably the safe way to go, man. I mean, look what he did last year. I love Jordan Love. Those are all really good. They're neck and neck. You know, honestly, the wind blows a certain way. I could change my ranking too, but like Dak did deliver about QB4 overall across most scoring formats last year. CeeDee Lamb's his wide receiver. Ferguson's gonna have a nice big monster year. Dak's playing for money. Dak may or may not get a contract extension done. I kind of think he's going to. But if he doesn't, he's playing for big money. And I was worried about that at the beginning of the year. Would he be like, you know, nervous about it and like screw the pooch on the season? Now I'm thinking more and more like this guy is going to clean up if he does wait, and he's going to get wined and dined by the Raiders or the Giants or, you know, something and land a huge deal. I think he's going to have a big year. But, you know, Love's exciting, but I think Love's still got, like in this conversation, he's still got a little bit of work to do before I'm anointing him over these other two great options. I still love Jordan Love. Kyler, I love Kyler. Kyler runs a lot. He's capable of 300.
Thinking exactly the way I was. So I just I thought each group of three was tight, and you validate it where I
You
was
want to
going,
roll the dice,
so I appreciate
Kyler.
it.
You want to roll the dice, Kyler, but if you want to go steady Eddie, go Dak. And Dak's still got a lot of upside. It's not like you're rolling the dice and getting a safe, mundane
Well,
scoring.
I'm kind of leaning taking Dak, and then when it flips back around to me, think there's a good shot that JD5 is still sitting there when it comes
like
back
that.
around, and I might put him under.
I
might
like
put
that,
him
and then that gives you the high risk, high reward JD5, and he runs. It gives you the running quarterback, and then you get the safer gunslinger and Dak. I like that. That approach is probably the best. Versus going, you could go Kyler and JD5, have two runners. Maybe Kyler falls or something happens. Love could fall. I've seen Love fall, and I've seen him go early. It just depends. But you could get Love and Dak maybe potentially. You get Love and Dak.
It's possible. It's possible because I accidentally got into a 10-team league, and so everything's kind of loaded.
How do you accidentally get into a 10-team league? How do you trip and fall into a 10-team league? Here's my entry fee.
I just didn't catch that it was 10. I was looking at the setup for the league, and the one thing I didn't catch was the number. And I prefer 12-team, but.
Hold on a second. You know, Rockout prefers dropping fire. Here's Rockout's newest rap.
Addison, look, we can't be doing this. We can't be on this diva stuff. Like, oh, I'm untouchable. I can do whatever I want.
He's doing poetry now. It used to be just raps, but now, you know, when you walk up on the stage and you're like, rain comes down like a thunder. And your mama don't know thunder till your mom. He's literally.
Consequence.
Hold on.
Second.
Let me go back a little bit.
Like no consequences. This is the second offense. Can't be doing that. Whatever you got to do, talk to somebody, get it together, bro.
Affirmations with Rockout. Thank you, Rockout. Appreciate you. That threw me off. I've only ever heard him rap. I've never heard him come in with some of that like hardcore like dive bar poetry. You know, where you go on stage and you're like,
word poetry.
moms, let's talk about them. They rained down thunder
Little
from down under.
little drum in the background. A bongo drum.
All right, boys. I think I'm out of here early tonight. I've done a lot of videos, live stream,
Smitty.
video, draft.
Take care.
All right, Scott, go be less scared. Go do it
Sleep
live.
well.
Take Dax so you can sleep at night, you scared man. Appreciate you, Scott.
All right, later, brother.
Later.
Pat,
Ron, you got any final thoughts?
yeah, I'm planning a trip. I think going to go to the Philippines.
Oh,
Good.
that's good. That's good, Ron. That's why you got the passport. I like it.
Smitty won't be going to the Philippines.
Yeah, I'm not going to the Philippines. I can't do that. But I also have some traumatic, like, traveling out of the country, experiences that make me not want to go out of the country. When I was 21 years old, I went to Tijuana, and the federales grabbed me, and my friends were all kind of like walking in front of me where they were selling blankets and chiclets and everything on the cement. So, and it's right near the border. So there's no trespassing or anything like that, but they just came out of like the bushes, like 3 of them, grabbed me. And I was like, guys, because I was like, I don't know, I was looking at a blanket or someone was selling something. So I stopped for a second, and they grabbed me and they cuffed me and they threw me in the back of a Federale car that had like home bars from like a window, like soldered onto it. It was like a makeshift police car. I don't even know if they're real Federales. And they drove. This wasn't one of those like $20. This was like they were taking me to some bigger event. And so they're driving. They drive down the street. My friends are chasing me. Thank God they saw me getting thrown in the car. They take me down the street. They turn. Then they turn another, like a left, go into an alley. It's completely dark. And my friends catch up. And they rob me of $300 in my wallet. And if we didn't come up with, and it's ironic that I had $300 because that's what they said. We want $300, and I had it. I'm like, I got $300. So they took $300. I was cuffed. My buddy Ben he had way too much, so he was like almost going off the handle. And they were like, you need to calm down, in Spanish. And I speak a little Spanish, so I was like, ¿Cuánto cuesta? And so I gave him $300, and they were literally going to, if we didn't have it, take me downtown because they make good money if they turn someone in, and then their parents have to come, and pay like thousands of dollars to come walk down and find you. There's no filing system, so if they don't get enough out of you, they'll sometimes, use that as their plan. Like they can get, a couple $100 by bringing somebody down to put them in the system like that. But that was a scary situation. So I'll never go back to Tijuana. But that's different. You get a passport and you fly in somewhere. But that's probably one reason why I don't like going anywhere. I don't like being cuffed and thrown into a Federale car. I know that doesn't necessarily happen when you go to Vegas, but, maybe that's part of why I don't like to go to Vegas. Maybe I don't like to go anywhere. I just like to stay in my home and mind my own business and go live. That's all I need. Plus, you see me out and about. It's like when you see your teacher. You're like, what do you go shopping? Like, anybody ever sees me out there, like, what are you doing out? Aren't you supposed to be in the studio or something? So, like, what good am I in the real world anyway? I don't know.
Yeah, the last time I was in the Philippines was when I was active duty, 1991, during Desert Storm, before they shut the base down. But her family's over there, so I'm going to go over there and meet some of them.
That's awesome.
I had these necklaces made, one for each of her nieces, and then one for her sister, and it has some of her ashes in it, and it has
that's good, man.
A sketch of her, a picture I gave them, so it has her on the necklace, a picture of her on the necklace sketched in.
That's awesome.
And the ashes. So
just stay safe.
That's fine.
Check in.
Yep.
How long are you going? How many weeks?
I hate flying too. I hate flying.
Oh man,
so
Philippines.
It takes a lot from me.
Yeah, I'm definitely not like a scaredy cat flying or anything like that, but I don't enjoy it. You know, I'm always one of those people like, you know, I start thinking like the worst and everything, but like I'll go and I'm fine, but yeah, I prefer not to get on, you know, a plane and travel if I can, especially the germs involved. It's just that air is just recycling. Everybody's coughing germs through. You know, people turn it on and they just feel the air, and you're like, do you realize that Scott's breath over there that's going through that little faucet and coming straight into your face, and you're just going, take it in, take it. Here's some of that germ that Scott's cocking up in the corner over there. Breathe it in, breathe it in. You know, you got to like rub like Vaseline in your nostrils to try and catch everything. There's certain tricks. They don't always work though.
Well, the longest flight I've ever been on was when I had to meet the ship overseas. Flew me from LAX over to Yokosuka, Japan. That was over a 13-hour flight.
How far is this flight? How far is this flight?
It's over a 15-hour flight from West Coast.
Really?
So yeah, I'd fly from here like to Houston or Dallas, and then from there. But see now, it used to be. That's like
two of my live streams, Ron.
Yeah, I know. United Airlines started up a service, nonstop service to the Philippines. So I'll spend the extra money and get business class, and they got the sleeping ones there, so you can sleep and stuff.
Nice.
So,
I enjoyed that. Then I just sleep the whole time.
Because it's going to be a long ass flight, so I'll spend the extra money and do the business and go over there that way. Because I mean, with all my problems and my legs and everything, I need to be comfortable if I'm flying, you know. So
yeah.
But that's out of San Francisco. So I fly into San Francisco and take the United flight to San Francisco all the way to the Philippines.
I don't even want to fly to San Francisco. Imagine going on a flight to San Francisco. They're going 15 hours to the Philippines. I didn't even know you could fly that long.
Well,
I thought it was like, I knew you could fly for like 12 hours or whatever, but 15 hours.
I got to fly all the way from here to Dallas or Houston, and then fly all the way up to San Francisco. And I mean, there's another route, but it's with Delta, and it takes you to Atlanta, which isn't a long flight, and then you fly to Amsterdam, which isn't a long flight over the water as far as that goes. But then from Amsterdam, you're flying to the Philippines, and that flight goes over the Middle East, and I don't want to fly over the Middle East.
That's crazy. That's all crazy to me. Like I don't want to, like, I shouldn't be talking, you know, negative at all about this. I'm not trying to worry you or I'm the worst person to ask about this stuff. But like, I can't imagine for 15 hours being over the ocean. Like, that's crazy. That's wild.
Oh, I don't. Yeah.
You'll be sleeping though.
Like loaded up with
yeah, you'll be sleeping though. You'll be fine. Just don't snore too loud, Ron.
I can't promise that.
You just hear Ron.
I'll take Rock out with me. He can snore pretty good.
You just put on some rock out poetry. You know, calm you right down. You'll fall right asleep. Let's see if it works. Pretend you're on the plane. Close your eyes real quick.
Addison, look, we can't be doing this. We can't be on this diva stuff. Like, oh, I'm untouchable. I can do whatever I want. Like, no consequences. This is the second offense. Can't be doing that. Whatever you gotta do, talk to somebody, get it together, bro.
I think Rockout needs to record a little travel tape for Ron.
Yeah.
Little motivational travel tape, little sleep songs for them.
All right. I'm out of here, boys. On that note, I'm tired. Just talking about traveling
Thanks,
is
Smitty.
wiping me out. All right, Ron. Hey, Ron, when do
Later,
you leave?
Ron.
When do you leave, Ron? Last question.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't solidified all the times. I'm thinking maybe go September.
Football?
Well, yeah.
That's foreign to me.
Doesn't mean I still have to do.
I've never heard of such a thing in my life. All right.
Blasphemy, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
That's-
maybe my basketball teams will do better this year if I'm not paying too close.
Miss Smitty
attention to it.
knows not to ask about vacations during football. One time she did, and I was like, "That's funny, Miss Smitty. You want to leave where?" I did go out of town to Disneyland during the week. I think last year and I didn't like it. I didn't like it, but never on the weekend. But we're gonna try and do everything before and after when we do anything. We still do a couple vacations, and I don't tell her, but I don't like going. I don't like staying right here. You want to go on vacation in the backyard? But we'll go to Disneyland. We'll drive to Disneyland. We drive when we go, and that's about it. That's like our trip. That's basically the trip. We do that once every year and a half or something like that, and that's it. And honestly, when I get home, I'm so glad I'm home. I don't know. Disneyland's cool though. I do like Disneyland. I like seeing the kids, in that environment. I love Star Wars and all that stuff. So that's the one place I'm okay with. But all right, boys, I'm out of here. What?
If you like Disneyland, I mean Disney World's better than Disneyland because you got
I've been
there. You got MGM.
Yeah, I've been there before.
Studios all.
Doesn't have Matterhorn though, which is so wild. It's got everything but Matterhorn. The park looks kind of identical. I've been there before, and there's no Matterhorn. It's just you walk and it's weird. It's weird. But they say Matterhorn, is sinking. It's always got problems. They drained the lagoon that had the submarine ride back in the day. They drained that, and when they drained that, the Matterhorn started sinking, so they had to fill it back up with water. True story. But the Matterhorn's always broken anyway. That thing, I don't know who designed that thing, but when you ride it, it's like you feel like the tracks are just getting abused. Like when you get off the Matterhorn, you're like, thank God, that thing didn't fly right off. It's crazy that the way they designed that thing. Somebody said, let's design this thing to the point where it sounds like it's gonna fly off the tracks, and let's take a bunch of water and wet down the tracks, and let's see what happens.
They got this one ride. It's called Mission to Mars, and it simulates. You get in there, and there's 4 people per pod, and it's like, how like the astronauts go into the thing to test their G-force pulls. So this thing is basically the same thing, and you're taking off, and it feels like you're in a rocket and you're taking off. You get pushed back in your seat, your stomach goes up through your throat, and then you do that. Ron. Remember in Armageddon had to shoot around the moon?
Yeah.
Well, you do that thing on this ride. You shoot around the moon.
That sounds great.
To go to Mars, and then when you go to Mars, you crash land on Mars. And
sounds
you're like
enjoyable.
on this cliff. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's intense. It's very intense.
All right, boys. Appreciate you. I'll see you later.
Yep. Later, Smitty.
Later.
See you, Ron.
Later, guys. That ride didn't sound entertaining to me. Like, basically, your stomach goes through your throat. It's real fun. I appreciate everybody. Thanks for joining me. Addison should be ashamed of himself. Come on, Addison. Addison, do better. Rockout's telling you, do better. See somebody. Rolls Royce. Falling asleep in your Rolls Royce? Man, get a driver. Downgrade the Rolls Royce into like an Escalade or something, and then hire a driver with the difference. You know what I mean? Like, it solves the problem. Appreciate you all. Thank you for my super chats. Ray G dropping one. Rock out. Ray G to the moon. Appreciate Ray G. Appreciate Rock out. Appreciate Ron and Travis calling in. I'll see you all later.
Legend has it if you say St. Brown 3 times in the dark in the bathroom, you will immediately lose your league.
Don't forget I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. Additionally, live whenever news breaks, and additionally, live midnights drafting, most midnights. So I traded Herbert in a 25-second for JD5. Good trade there. Easy. Nice job, my guy. Addison needs to pay Denny to be his therapist. Maybe Denny could be his driver. Everybody drop a McBride emoji. Do it. Later.
Get breached.